full disclosure here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of winging it, but if my contractor didn't believe that I could do this myself, he would not have told me to go ahead and do it myself. So I am trusting my instincts here. Nope. Welcome to Dirt, Sweat, and Gears, your soggy shack of boxes. Today's going to be a bonus video because we're not working on my cars. We're going to be working on my garage and ADU project. If you're not familiar with this project, I started building this garage in 2020, which as of recording this is 4 years ago. I had contracted a friend of mine of over 10 years, and he said he was going to help me build my dream garage with an ADU up above to use as a home office, entertainment area, weight room, with a full kitchen and bathroom. Instead, he decided to buy himself a new house, a brand new truck, and he skipped town, leaving me with a hole in the ground. Now, I've just signed several contracts with a contractor that actually does deliver work for me. And by the way, he is licensed and bonded in the state of California. So if he screws me, I can sue him and recover my legal costs. He's not going to screw me, though. He is actually an incredible contractor with a great code of ethics, and he has delivered above and beyond on every project that I have hired him to do. But unfortunately, this El Nino season has really thrown a wrench into everything I've been trying to do. And before we could get waterproofed, we had another storm, and this garage is flooded. I want to show you that, and I want to show you what has happened since we have gotten our permits approved, because it's actually very, very exciting. Let's just get started. So we're going to walk and talk here because I just signed a contract with this guy to the tune of $68,000, and that is not going to complete the project. It's going to get me quite a ways there, though. You see, we have a little bit of a waterproofing problem, and that is because, well, we would have been a lot better off had we not installed that scaffolding outside. But since we have that scaffolding outside, the rain is bouncing off of the planks into the walls, it's soaking into the walls and into my garage. And not to mention, the stairs are completely unprotected. So in the stairwell, we are just taking in massive amounts of water. I do have a tarp, and that has helped a lot. But as you can see, the tarp is torn. It's slipped, and water is just coming in freaking everywhere. My butcher paper is ruined. There's not a whole lot that has been completely ruined. I've been really fortunate in that sense. And also the grade of the concrete is mostly forming a little channel that runs out of the garage. So I just have to prop the garage doors open, and the water, for the most part, runs out and doesn't destroy my grandmother's antique furniture over there. So far, I've been very, very fortunate. I've survived one huge storm, and we have another one coming in over the next 2 days. But I'm fairly confident that I'm going to be okay in terms of the valuable, irreplaceable stuff. And the rest of this is just shop stuff. That is an antique table there that is covered, has a cover on it. But like I said, no water has actually reached there because of the concrete shoring behind it. It's just coming in through the door and then making its way down and out of the garage. Now, one thing I did notice as I was planning for the next stages of construction was that my doors could go up quite a bit higher. And the reason that is going to be beneficial to me is because I want to put a storage lift over here, a 4-post storage lift, and I want to put a 2-post mechanics lift right here where this prelude is. And having that extra clearance will make all the difference in the world, because it means I can get a car like this up all the way to the point where I can stand under it comfortably and work underneath the car. Let's walk around the side of the building, and we're going to go up the stairs and inside my new construction. So here we have a big pool of water. When the rain gets really bad, it actually pools up pretty high because this is a low spot right now. They did do a little bit of a grading effort recently, and that has helped a lot, but you can see it does pool up here, and then it eventually runs down, and my driveway becomes a creek. Around the sides here, you see the plywood is just taking a beating. if we don't get this waterproof soon, it's going to be highly problematic. But my contractor is on it. He has already scheduled the guy to come out as soon as he's available, which is obviously going to be after this next storm. So we're heading up the stairs here. You see there's tears in the tarp, and that's just because we're walking on it. That's what happens when you do work. And I had plastic over here, but of course it slipped. It's been, you know, pulled aside because of the scaffolding and all of that. And inside here, it is actually more or less protected and dry. My contractor, just before the storm, has installed these windows. They look amazing. And now that I have the windows in, you know, I said when I was building this thing that they were so huge that I would probably make them a little bit smaller, but being able to look out these windows and see this amazing view, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm really, really, really satisfied with how these windows look. The screens are not in because we still obviously have to do drywall, and when you're doing drywall, you clog up screens really bad and they're really hard to clean. So we're just gonna keep the screens out, and then they slide. The windows slide sideways here, unlock it. I don't think I'm ever gonna need to lock these windows, because if you can scale this building and climb in through a window, you deserve whatever you're gonna take. I mean, really, just break in through the door. Or better yet, don't break into my house at all, you jackass. So with these windows in and with this roof on and all sealed up, this second story is very well protected. We get a little bit of water intrusion because of the scaffolding, like I said, but it's not damaging the floor any more than it already is. It's not damaging any of the structure of the building. This is actually quite workable. It still gets a little bit wet around the doorway because obviously we don't have a door in yet. We're gonna do that when we do the stairs. So this means I can actually move forward with some repairs. See, over the years, when this thing was still a single-story structure with a flat top, this was the roof. And I had put tarps up. I had done my very best efforts to keep water off of this roof, but it still happened a few times. And we've got a little bit of warping here. So a section of this piece needs to be replaced. This board has curled a little bit. At the end, we're going to replace a section of that. And over here, we have to replace another section. So I've bought 2 sheets of 3/8 ply. That should be a direct replacement for this. And we're just really going to cut probably up to here. Once I'm done with that, I can begin laying more subfloor. So I have not enough to do this entire floor completely, but I have mostly enough. I want to start, I don't know where, I'm not exactly sure where, probably over there. There's less stuff over there. Start over there and then make my way over here once I do these repairs. Now I have here a perfectly usable piece of ply. It's just not usable as flooring. I will probably set this aside and use it as shelving. All I have to do is pull out all the nails and, of course, obviously, throw them directly into my driveway. Got everything cleaned up, and the next thing I need to do is measure this hole. So you'll notice along this right side here, it gets a little close to the edge. I'm not terribly worried about that because I am going to be using OSB on top of it. So all along that edge and in that corner, I'm just going to put a bunch of extra screws to tie everything together really nicely. And the OSB is going to go clear over this hole. So it's not like I'm gonna have a point where all the weight is going to just go down and sink through the floor. I think that's gonna be just fine. What concerns me here is this little tongue and groove thing here that we've got going on this side. And does this side have it too? Yes, it does. So getting this piece in is pretty much going to be next to impossible with this tongue and groove. So it's just not going to happen. I'm going to have to cut out the tongue on this side so that it just sets in. I don't know what I'm talking about. I am not a contractor, just full disclosure here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of winging it, but if my contractor didn't believe that I could do this myself, he would not have told me to go ahead and do it myself. So I am trusting my instincts here. Sorry, Prelude, you're gonna have to take one for the team this time. Promise when I get you back into the garage, I'll wipe you down. But until then, we got some wood to cut. Might want to have had a third sawhorse there, but we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Everything's still attached. I can cut anything off. Well, this is the test fit of the board. It is not quite correct. I need to trim just a little bit off here, and it looks like just a little bit off of this corner here, but it's very close. I brought my sawhorses back up. They're folded up over there. I brought them back up because I thought it would be less effort to bring my cutting stuff back up here to make the final cuts. I was wrong, but that's okay. If I need to do, a lot of fine tuning, I have everything I need right here. All this is done. I'm not terrified to step on it anymore. It feels really good. It gets a little bit, I don't like the gap here, but once there's a subfloor on top of it, it is not going to be a problem at all because the subfloor will join all of this together. I just got to make sure that I position the subfloor so that, I don't end up with the exact same seam, which is really easy to do. I mean, it's really easy to avoid anyway. So the next step, let's work on another section. Since the car is out of the garage, I think I want to work on this section because this is where the car is underneath when the car is in the garage. So I want to do that, and then that's probably the last section that I'll do. So this is done, cut, and installed. And with all of the screws and the glue in, feels pretty dang good. There's a tiny little gap, but that is totally going to be fine once we lay down the subfloor. And that's a good segue into the next thing that we're going to do. I got to do this subfloor. So I have these 4 panels laid out, mostly just for, fitment and trying to figure out what's going to go where. And this is looking really, really good. So I'm going to start with these 4 panels, glue them, screw them, and then move on to another set of panels. Yeah, I may want to drag them away from the corner here, just so that there's just a little bit of room for expansion. But other than that, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to lay these 4 down. I'm going to move this crap out of the way, lay 4 more, and then move all of this stuff over there. So off camera, I did lay down these 3 sheets. They're not glued or screwed. I really just wanted to figure out the plan for finishing up this area over here. And I think I know what I'm going to do. So once these are down, I think the next row is going to be rotated. And I'm going to start off of this wall and join up here, or even that wall probably, because it'll be a lot easier to line up with the existing subfloor. So I'm going to lay it down this way so that I can get as much coverage as I can with just the sheets. I don't want to screw around with, I want to do as little cutting as possible, and I think that is going to be what enables me to do that, especially in high traffic areas. This is going to be where my office is. So I don't want a bunch of, mishmashed sheets cut and set together. I want a continuous board if I can make that happen. And I can definitely make that happen. So once that's all done, it's only just going to be little strips around here, around there, and then cut a square there, cut a square here. So it's going to be a lot less cutting if I rotate the next row after putting this down. Well, this is about all I care to do for this video. I got all of the complete sheets down, except for that one over there, and that is because I don't want to put that down until I have a door in here, because the water, when it rains really heavy, it'll come in and it will potentially damage whatever I put down here. So I'm just going to wait on that until we have a door. Aside from that, we've got all these little pieces that I need to cut along the side here, but I mean, again, I've done enough for one video. We can make those precise cuts later on. I mean, I got plenty of time, so it's not like there's anything lost by not doing it. And now looking at the boards themselves, you can see I have very precisely measured and screwed in each of these boards using only the highest grade material. Honestly, guys, none of this doesn't matter. So subfloor, it's not a critical part of the building. So I put the screws in wherever it made sense, wherever I felt any kind of bulging, and I kept putting screws in until it felt solid to walk on. That's the whole point of this project, is to make it feel better to walk on, and so far so good. Mission accomplished. I intentionally left a little bit of a gap between each of these boards, slightly more than a little on this one and that one, because I wanted to account for any kind of expansion or swelling if this OSB does get wet. I didn't want it to curl up against each other and force a board up. I mean, am I going to succeed in that? Probably not. But you know, it's just a good practice to leave a little bit in between boards for something like this. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm going to get back downstairs and work on some cars. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you don't like what you see, leave a comment anyway. Maybe you think I have no business being around power tools and construction materials. If that's you, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.